Let's talk about sharing information between computers. We're going to share shortcuts, we're going to share themes, and we're also able to use something called the package manager. So let's see what these things are that we can share and how we can get them out and into Camtasia. There will be a few differences between the PC and Mac versions, so I'll show you those as well. Here inside Camtasia, I want to start by exporting my keyboard shortcuts. So if I go to Shortcuts, I can see that there are all the standard shortcuts, but maybe there's something that I changed. Maybe there was a change to, add last used transition. And instead of Shift-T, I prefer Control-T. Okay, I can do something like that. When I do that, I now see here in Camtasia 2020 the ability to click this, and I can export these shortcuts. So I'll just go ahead and click Export, and then I can export them wherever I want. And I'll call this the Control-T shortcut. Now, it's all of the shortcuts, everything that's in here. I just did one that was real quick. So if I went back and I changed this back to Shift-T, now I'm back to the defaults. Okay, and I can just click Restore Defaults. Everything's back to default. So let's try and import that. All right, so we'll go here to the gear icon, Import. Here's my Control-T shortcuts. It has been successfully imported, okay, and there it is. There's the Control-T. That's shortcuts for the PC. Let's go over to our Mac. So here on my Mac, I can go to the Camtasia 2020 menu, and I can go to Preferences. And just like before, I can go over to the Shortcuts tab. So if it came up with General tab by default, you can go to Shortcuts. And then similarly, we have that gear icon. Now notice here for the gear, we have a few different options. We can rename, we can delete, we can copy, and then we can import and export. So we have a few different options, and I could have a list of shortcuts here, but I don't have that in the Windows version. So just a few small differences between the two platforms there. Now back to the PC, let's look at themes. You'll remember we can go to File and Manage Themes. Themes are the colors and the fonts and the logos that we use, and we keep them grouped together. So here I have one called Cam Answers. This is what I use for my YouTube channel, and I have a specific set of colors that I want to use. And I also have one font that I use there, Oswald. Let's just say we want to export this. So we have this gear icon again, and I can rename this, I can delete it, I can export it, and I can import these themes. All right, so what I did already was I exported this theme, and then I went over to Mac to import it. So let's jump over to Mac and take a look at what that looks like. I will go to Camtasia 2020 and Manage Themes. And you can see, oh, it was Cam Mastery, not Cam Answers, sorry. So in here, I was able to bring in or import from my PC over to my Mac. And here are the colors and the fonts that I use for Cam Mastery. Back to the PC. Now there's one more thing that we can do. You think about importing and exporting shortcuts and themes, and what about those favorites that we had? And what about the presets that we had? Can I get all of those? Yes. If I go to File, Export, there's this option now called Export Package, and we see we can use Control-Shift-E to export a package. Well, what's a package? Well, it says this package is going to be a zip file that's going to include anything I want. So remember that contract template I created earlier? I can grab that and put that in. The themes, maybe I want the Cam Answers and Cam Mastery in this. What about my libraries? Well, I want to use that VA sample library. And what about shortcuts? Well, I just have the one shortcut, I guess. I don't know where the Control-T one went. I'm surprised it's not here, but we get the idea. Favorites, I can say, yep, let's grab those favorites as well. And then what I can do is I can export this package. And I can say, okay, export the package, and this is Ron's export. So we'll say save, and then it packages those things up and saves them on your computer. And there it is. There are my shortcuts, and then there is my export. Similarly for Mac, I can go to File, Export, and I see Package again, and I can click that. And just like before, we can choose these different templates and themes and whatever else we want to export, and click Export. Then, if we needed to import them, all we need to do is double-click the Camtasia export package, and it will import them into Camtasia. Back to the PC, let's look at that. We'll double-click the export package, and it comes up and it starts to import all these things.